Hi guys, continuing the stream of this background. Today we will be finishing it and we will have animations. Let me show it to you. Pretty much like this. Everything smoothly going in a loop, in a different speed, warping a little bit. And I did not use sequences here, just original images stretching and moving with fading in and fading out and overlapping to create a seamless loop. Okay, I have meshed everything, I guess, and yeah, something is broken here. It's got fixed. So mainly I did the meshing, so some leaves, grass can be animated here and here. And since I did meshing, I also brought it close to the edge. So less texture pixels are rendered at the end. Let me know if something is wrong with the video or audio. I will continue meanwhile. We have grasses here, grass, simple mesh. For now, maybe I will go and add more bones. You can see that I bound differently, so to give some kind of offsetting, fake offsetting effect. And same way for this ones, and the clouds, this cloud will go this way and continue in a loop. This cloud will go this way and this will just rotate this way. So it's a very tiny movement, it's not that this big. We have the tree, simple meshes, we have this tree, and so on. One important thing I would like to mention is that I normally, since it is very slow animation, I mean, it should have, 2000 frames, I guess, or even more. I don't want to create, there will be smaller loops like grass or any other stuff that I don't want to duplicate them at the beginning. So I will create animations for each of the loop length and then combine them at the end. So we will be seeing all of them combined in the preview view if we need. But right now, let's start from the clouds. They will be the most difficult, I guess. All of them are easy, but the rest you can just skip. It's similar technique or even easier technique. So as I already thought that I will be moving them this way, maybe I will also move them in a curve, but I don't think the curve will be noticeable. So let's go and create a bone, put it here. And I will also add two bones here and here. And since it moves this way, I want to expand it like this way, just to create that stretching effect. For that, I will bind it to these two bones, and let's see what we have as a result. I will go and repaint it, I guess. I'm using the latest stable version. And let me start from bottom. Yeah, I accidentally locked it, which is a new feature. I did not use it so far, but it should be a great feature. You can see that the orange line is going this way, so I am actually cannot smooth it. So maybe I could get rid of them and add the orange lines differently. So I can smooth them. I think you can go and even not include this, not add this inner details. They are not too necessary in this situation. So we could go and delete them. But for now, let's leave it. And now let's hit smooth. So the weight is transformed along these yellow lines. This, and this, or orange. Let's check it now. Yeah, I'm pretty much happy with this. Maybe this section, I will just go and bind to the container bone. Yeah, it's looking great. Okay, so let's see it in action. I will separate translate. I'm pretty sure there will be some adjustments in the curves, and separating the translate gives more control over it. I need X to go. Let's see the 2000 frames. It's really hard to be precise here. But once we have our keys, we can easily just click on them and it will snap to the frame we are working with. Okay, now on this frame, I would go and this. I think I separate wrong timelines. We'll bring them back. We are moving this. And let's move it. Let's assume we move it here. Let's hide it. You know what? Let's for now just disable that's to not confuse us. I see that moving diagonally in the very slow speed works pretty much nice. We'll reduce the angle, and at the end we'll just open up it. Let's see if that works. Cool. I want to make sure that at least it starts originally in this state, because the artist had in mind that frame. So great. Privet Zakharov. I think it is very slow. Let's see it. Or no, it's good. It's good. Okay, so let's see how we loop it. Should I share this stream so we have more people? Let's share it in the Discord server. Cool. So looping is, there is no like exact way to loop it. Sometimes you move it, and while moving you need to also loop the movement, while also need to loop the fading out, fading in. But what is sure that I think I shared the wrong URL. Now it's good. Yeah, so we also need to consider fading in, fading out, and what is important is that we mostly need to work with slots, duplicating them. Right now we can see that it appears from nothing and disappears into nothing. So we can, of course, this is a loop, of course, but we need to see the cloud all the time. So I don't want to see the stream like very cloudy. So I need to be careful to duplicate it in amount that looks closer to the original image. We don't want to make it a smoky or stormy day. Cool. So let's start from duplicating the whole structure. For that, we have this bone. I will go and duplicate it and see if offsetting it half a cycle will do the trick. So before that, we need to, let me delete this. We need to make sure that first and start and end frames are exactly the same. But in this case, it's not because, well, it moves. But we can fix that by copying the first frame. Same would go for this because they all are ending at the different position, which what we need, but we also need the last toe, so it snaps back. For that, we just move this back, break the interpolation using this button. Let me also enable the keys. I always forget about it. So, and one frame, it jumps back. Now it is loopable, so we can see that if I hit hold Control Alt and drag the frame, it will offset it. So now we are ready to copy. Also, I will disable all easings. We don't need to, we need it to go and move consistent. Now let's duplicate it. Select all new bones and slots and offset them. Yeah, this pretty much works. Too much cloud here. Too cloudy. Let's see how it does at the snapping portion. It moves too fast, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it moves too fast. So maybe 4,000 frames would do the trick. So in this situation, we hid it behind this entrance. So we don't need fading in and fading out color transitions. Otherwise, if we needed to move it very shortly, we had to fade it out. So this was easy loop, actually. But we need to make it longer. Make it 4,000 frames. I want to make sure we have one frame only here. Cool. Yeah, this looks fine. What I also might need to do, I need also one stretching, some squash and stretch movements here in the clouds. They look too static here. Let's see if we can achieve that by using the same one. So what if we do this? No, this might work. Might work. We can add some bones here and attach, parent them to these bones and then scale them. But it is too much work and It is too much work and I don't want to spend that much amount here. Maybe I will come back it and spend time here, but it really needs some squashy movements here. Let me quickly try to scale them. Let's assume we have 50 frames, scaling 1.1, and then going back to maybe I will also use this, and here I will do this. No, only that one. So let's copy it. Oh, too much. Goes back and forth. What if we separate X and no, it's too much movement. We need to get rid of that scale that is super scaly. So what if we do 0, 1? And here this can work actually. And if we spread it, this should work, I guess. Let's separate. First I will go and copy it. We need that loop. So see, this is what I was talking about, that we have small loop and I have to copy it to see the whole loop, to offset them, to that offset. But in this case, we are working within same object, so I can't create another animation. I will also yeah, I will save the stream. Vermilion girl. Hello everybody. So I'm doing basically a lot of offsetting just to make things random. And let's see now. Yeah, I see some stretching stuff here and I like it. It should be pretty much the similar way, loopable. Let's see if it loops. Perfect. Okay, so we have our clouds, and similarly, this was basically the hardest one. So after that, everything will come very easy. And let me create another. Hey, let's name it cloud left and cloud. Okay, now it's time for this cloud, or it's some brush strokes, I don't know. So I wanted to delete it, but I really also appreciate the work of the artist, so maybe we need to keep it. So we will be doing only rotation, left, and maybe this way, and then boom, 1000 frames. I will do similar way, just hide it. Here. Copy one frame and paste it. Break the interpolation and see how it does. It does a great job. I want to see if this corner will be visible here. So, and it is not. It's looking great. Cool. I will add another dimension by stretching stuff here. Let's generate some vertices. That's enough. And we lost the size. Let me do it manually. It is too annoying. Sometimes I really want to ask developers to fix it, but I'm always forgetting. But this is really annoying. I don't know if it is fixable or not, but whenever there is a image that is already scaled from that PSD file, or just you scaled it, if you mesh it and it resets the sides, which is annoying, and you can't bring it back, or I don't know the way to do it. Cool. Now I did it to be able to add 2 bones, 1 and 2. I think this is pretty much enough. Let's see. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Again, the background is not something that you need to perfect. You need to quickly do, so you have time to do more animations. And if you have time, at least at the end, you can go ahead and improve other parts. Cool. I will separate the scale value so we have some squashy movement here. And of course, offset one of them. It looks great. Let's see it in normal speed. The scaling is not noticeable, but it's there, and I love it. Okay, let's move to the next. I see this grass is not meshed, which I'll do right now, so you can see how I think when I mesh it. So I will make sure that each tip has its own, at least, yeah, it's close to the vertex points. So later when I bind them, I move it so, and make sure that they have proper polygons. Right now, if I move it, it will cut here. So maybe I will need to add some vertices here. And this also will be cut, so maybe this way and this way. Let's see how we can make it work. I would put all these bones inside container to keep them organized. Select container and add several bones. Or one bone. No, one bone. Sorry. I'm going with one bone here. So I'm adding a bone. This part is not visible. I didn't notice it. So when you bind it, I will bind it to here and container bone. and let's give it all to container, and then with direct mode I will give some values here, not equal, different, so they look like differently. You can see the result. We can see that it breaks here, but let's leave it there. Okay. So we have this cloud, let's go with this one. So this is too many vertices here. I will leave them because I want to make that squash and stretch also here. But otherwise I would just remove the mesh and move it to the right. And again, similar way, we have this and a bone. I will make it a name. I will give it this one a name so we can grab it easily, and this one a name. No, let's leave it. Okay. Let's start moving it. I would want to set a different speed for this. I assume this cloud is closer to the camera, so maybe we can go and make it move faster. I don't want to do the same speed. And for that, let's do 2000 frames, which will be the half of this cycle. Maybe we should go and do that animation here, since we are only going to duplicate it once. 2000 frame. Moving to the right, moving to the left. And I just noticed that I forgot to duplicate this structure. So it disappears, it's good, but a new one should appear. Let's duplicate it. And offset it, half the cycle. See the result? We don't want too much cloudy here. And we see some snapping, which should not happen. Okay, yeah, so I see that we see snapping, so we need to make with alpha transition. So it starts with 0. I mean, I could go and rotate it this way and hide it up here and make it, but it's good to also see how we solve, how we do loops when things are in the field of view. We make it transparent here, full opacity. Let's set it to 100 frames. I will leave it here and not here because this is the same key as the first frame. Just make some easing and see the result. Okay, now we are ready to duplicate it and see how it will go. Hello, Yuri. Yeah, I think it works. Let's go move quickly back to the animation and move it from left to right. Copying the frame, pasting it in the next frame. Breaking interpolation. So if you don't break interpolation, you will see it. It might not be visible in the spine or in the game, but at some point it will create artifacts. So in one frame, it will jump back. You don't want to see it. It depends how fast engine renders it. So we need to break it. So we see jump right away. Okay. So you can see the bottom cloud moves twice as fast when this top one comes and hides behind. The second bottom one will already be there. Let's see if that speed makes some interesting stuff. Yeah, I think it's fine. Maybe I will make it slower at the end. But for now, let's go with this. Just add some more bones here. I will select the container bone, hit N to select create mode, to enter create mode, and with shift held, just click on the cloud several times where I want to set the bones. 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's add here. You can adjust them. And now let's go bind them. Maybe we don't need the container bone. So we get this nice automated weight, which is cool. Yeah, maybe this one could be a little bit higher. And similarly, I would go select all of them, save under one selection, since I'm going to work for a while with them. For saving selection, you hit Control and any number, and that will be saved under that number, which you can recall later just clicking on that number. And also with page up, page down, you can always come and select all the selections in the history, which I never use, but it's good to know. So let's select one to select the bones. And in the same cycle, 0 to 100, we can go ahead and animate them. So make them smaller. And make them bigger. Could be even smaller. Let's try this one. Yeah, I like it. Now we duplicate it here, create a loop, paste it several times. And boom. Select all, hitting Control A, making them soft. And I will also go ahead and do some shearing. Maybe up and down movement. This is very visible cloud, so random it moves, stretches better. I will do different pace here. Let's isolate only shear. Copy. Soft. Great. Next, I will do, let's see what rotation does. Yeah, rotation also can be the case. Let's do 400. It's gonna be very random. So nobody guesses how you actually did that smooth squashing. Select all with Control A, and yeah. And last one would be translate. So I'm going to move them diagonally. Let's start from left and at 500 frame. Right. When I pick span, I want to see that it is a multiplier of 2000 or 4000 in this case. So we can loop it actually. So let's do it again. I forgot what I was doing. So, diagonally left, diagonally right, diagonally right. So this allows me to separate the axes and it will rotate them in a circle. Okay. So many movements. Then let's start doing it from translate. We will pick one axis, select all, and offset them by 250. Shouldn't be precise. And then just offset them. I will collapse all so I can see better. You might not see the result here, but it will be there. So if you do it at the end, you will see very natural looking chaotic cloud. Let's go do the similar stuff with the rotation. And with the scale, I'm separating the scale, picking one of them, offsetting it half the cycle so it gets squash and stretch, selecting both of the timelines and moving them to offset. Great. And last one would be the shear. Separated it. And why can't I see it? Okay, so I only did the Y, so no need for that. You can go and do the X and separate them, but it really doesn't matter at the moment. I will go with only Y, which means I don't need to separate them. So for that, I will select this to filter them, and let's move them back actually. Now we should be able to see floating squashy sky cloud. And about the sky, you can see it is pretty much a static image, which is originally was like this. We made it smaller. It had some gradient here, so otherwise I would just make it 1 pixel wide. And you might go and leave it this way, what to animate here. But I have time, I saved a lot of time here and there, so I can come here and actually animate it too. So you might think, how would I animate it? I had experience also animating it, making it darker and changing the day to night. And it really worked well. All background changed the color just using the spine's color. I mean, it was not perfect artistic, but it became dark and it converted to night at some point. So right now we will be just for now binding it, of course, and then doing some movement of the horizon, I guess. Let's see what we can do. It's not gonna be noticeable, but we will, yeah, we see some movement there. Let's select both of them. I will do it again in cloud left animation. Rotate them, move up, move up, 2000 frames, move down, maybe scale so it doesn't, we don't see the cuts. Okay. I will copy all the timelines and paste it for this bone as well. Select it, adjust, and move it up. Let's see if we have some problems. I don't think we will see some problems here. Let's see the top left corner. So it's gonna be like this. Like this. So okay, we see some here. So I will select this one. I click on any key here and now hit Control A. It will select the timeline full, and then another time Control A, and it will select all the timelines here. Now we hit adjust and move it up. Let's see the result. Yeah, this should be fine. I'm curious to see if that gave us any interesting stuff or we just complicated things. Yeah, I think we added a lot of white stuff here. I don't like it. Maybe I can go and offset this portion. I clearly don't like it. There is some artifact here. I have no idea what causes it. Maybe the sky. Let's see. Yeah, it does. So we have some problem here. Maybe we can go and fix it. I will only show this image, so it exports only that one with this checkbox enabled. Yeah, it's done. Dragging it into the spine, selecting import into existing skeleton and hitting. Well, actually, we don't need to import it because the dimensions of the image did not change and the position also. So if we hit replace, the mesh will be reverted. So we don't need to import it. It already should be fixed because image was changed. But it's not. It is not. I see. We have more of that. Or we don't. Maybe it becomes visible when it gets stretched. Okay, one way to quickly fix it, I will go and just copy it this way. Just to make sure that it replaces. What about now, sky? Are we good? Yeah. I moved it down because I really don't like the whiteness of this portion. So moving it down changes. So basically we ended up moving and stretching the gradient of the horizon, which is not visible, but it will give some randomness. Let's leave it there. At least you will know that it is also an option. What else we need to animate? So we have the loop, right? Yeah. What comes next? Let's quickly do the trees. I will create another animation since it's going to be shorter. We'll use translate and rotation. Left. With pose tool, I'm moving them to the right. Sorry, it actually rotated right. I'm saying one thing but doing the other. I will hit Ctrl Shift J to reset their position to setup pose and key them. Now rotating them to the left and moving to the left. I'm moving only top ones because bottom ones are attached to the ground. Let's see if this is too much. Maybe it moves a lot too much to the left and to the right. We will have too much movement here. Yeah, this is great. So we offset top section and also offset rotations. Also offset one tree from the other. Maybe offset them more. Yeah, some slight movement. Similarly, animating the bottom trees. I guess we'll do inside the same span. Oh, we have one more bone to the right, moving the bones. Hey, I just saw that we did not bind them. But anyway, let's animate the bones. And then we will bind them. Let me actually bind it to the container bone. I want to give one small 3D movement. It's not going to be noticeable, but it will be important enough. So you can see that we have a middle line here. When I meshed it, we have middle line for every tree. And if we manage to move that line left and right, we will have some 3D movement. And for that, I don't want to create another bone, but what I want to do is to select the edges, at least these ones, and give value to container. So that way, the middle portion will have more movement as the other portion, the outer portion. So I just give a little bit of the container bone, and let's actually anchor this one. So right now, if we take and move it, the middle portion should move further. You can make this effect more noticeable, but I will go with this much value. Yeah. We have 20 viewers. I'm always happy when a lot of people are watching. And yeah, what are we doing? Okay, let's see. Yeah, we have another 3D. Again, it's really not noticeable, but I'm doing so you also can see that sometimes it really helps. Maybe you will decide. I don't want to give much value at the top because we have thin portion and stretching it might break stuff. Let's check this one. Yeah, looking good. So we have animated them and now they should look fine. They move very coordinated, which we really don't like, but we know how to offset them. We offset them starting from next bone. We offset them also the trees. And we will offset also the rotations. Let's select only rotations and offset them. Actually, I would love to see one of them moving slowly. Let's assume this is the furthest one, and it should move slowly. So for that, I will make sure filter is off, duplicate all, and select this one. I want to make it double the speed. I mean, slowest 2 times. So I will select the second loop, delete it, and just stretch this one. So everything else is looping twice except this tree. So you will see now that this one should animate slower. So they are going left, but this one is still moving to the right. I see a question in the chat. I really can't answer it right now. I need to see it, and you can find me in the Discord, and I don't want to show it in this stream, so it's more focused on this background. But I will answer in Discord. If you show me, you also can show me a video of what's the problem, so I can do it quickly, help you quickly. Okay. We have the trees, we have the clouds. And yeah, we have some lights here to animate. Let's start from this dusty light. We have one bone, and it's gonna be very easy. I will also do it maybe here. Rotate it 360 degrees. For that, make sure it's in local. You can see that we have a warning, it's new. Make sure it's in local space. So the value you enter, considered for local space. Okay, this is too fast. Let's move it to different place. Oh, we have 1,000 frames here. Let's move it here. So 1,000 frame for rotating, pretty much enough. Wait, I see it's a little bit off. Let's see if we can make it in the center of this bone. Thank you, Seper Ratfar. It's a mini game for me to try to read your names properly. Let me know if it was not proper way. Let's do the scaling, and we have 1,000 frame span. Let's move it 200. Scale it. Scale down 400. And yeah, we should do it in 250. Great. So now we have scaling up and down, but this is boring. So I will separate the scale and offset it half the cycle. So it will create some squash and stretch. It's too fast. Or no. I will also do the shearing. Separate it, offset it. Yeah, let's also move the X and Y value. Hit it here. I will move it diagonally, and I think I will go with 2000 frames, or maybe this would be enough. So it goes diagonally. I specifically made it move that way so I can later make it circular by separating the timelines. Now let's see. I don't want it to be noticeable. This portion was too fast. But I think I will leave it. These kind of things can be easily adjusted later. So let's for now separate the axis and make it move circular. So you can see this bone is moving circular. It is more visible now. And lastly, maybe we can offset some things. Yeah, it's looking good. It's like dust particles. It is additive. Yeah. Yeah, let's not play with the color. Okay, we have this light, which I will just go quickly. I don't want to make it too complex. Just move here a bone and move it in an arc here and low. Great. Let me also scale it. And scale up. Everything is going to be offset. So no worries about that. And we also need some movement. Yeah, let's also do that. Keep an eye in these scenarios, keep an eye on the original design. We don't want extra change in the original. For example, this might be not good. We see different. But let's see when it's offset. Offset. Most of the time there will be a character, a big in front of it, so I guess it's not visible much. What if we duplicate this? It is additive, so maybe we can duplicate this and give some kind of offset. We see some nice light playing, but for that we also need to compensate by changing the color. So you can go ahead and reduce it here or here. If you reduce it here, you won't have keys extra, and and later if you change it here, you will see the impact. Otherwise, if you add a key there and you change here, you won't see the difference because key will override that color value. So let's make it transparent here. Since we overlapped them and they were using additive, they make things brighter. So we need to compensate and make things transparent. But now we will have a nice coloring flowing one through other. Okay, we similarly have here colors. Not sure if I need to animate this part. Let's see if that changes things. Well, I can just scale it, I guess. I'm pretty sure it will not give too much difference, but let's see. No, it's not giving any difference. What about this one? I will also copy animation from this and add it here. Yeah, should work. Okay, we have some clouds here and we should have another one here. I will leave it. We have another layer here. We should add one layer here. Maybe I hid it. Yeah, this one. Why I can see it? No, I can see it. So should we animate it? Not at all. Let's leave it. So what we have left. We need to animate grass. See that we have one bones. It's super easy right now to animate them. We don't have it animated, right? Don't remember. So I will animate them inside this small cycle. I'm doing it inside 200 frames, so I later one of them, maybe this further one, will just make it in 400 frames so they look different in the timing. Make it soft, copy, paste. And now, what now? I will separate scale and share. Move them half of the cycle. And filter rotation. This is just random thing. You can do whatever you want, like offsetting. Anything you do will make something random. So there is, if I don't talk about it, then that most of it is just subjective way of doing it. And now let's offset, clear the filters, offset them. So this one, I wanted to make it, I actually wanted to make it further, so I already offsetted them. Let's see if I really want it to make a slow. If no, I will leave it this way. No, they look great. Okay, so now is the time when I decide to go do more vertices and more bones or no. If I had a lot of bones here, I would spend like more, 20 minutes more. So this is when I actually save some time. And the result is pretty much okay. I can go ahead and copy same way as for, let's copy it from here and post it here. Yeah, I forgot to bind it, I guess. And we have more grass here. Container and actual container. There is some mess in the namings. I hope you can forgive me. So you can see I'm giving them different values to see them moving in different speed. I'm not going to animate this portion. Or maybe a very tiny movement. Since I already meshed it, maybe I can do it. Okay, we are very close to finishing this project. So prepare your questions if you have. So I have time to answer them. I won't be animating this grass because I merged them. I had them in PSD, but I accidentally merged them. So let's leave it them. these kind of things I will come back and fix if clients asks them. Okay. We can also copy this animation and pass this for this tree. It's too much. I'm hitting Ctrl+Shift+J to reset to setup pose and key it right away. So I can rotate it right considering that setup pose. And offset rotation. Yeah, looking great. So what we left? Okay, I will go and enable the preview window so we can see. Otherwise, I don't think I will remember anything. So for that, we will enable each animation on separate tracks. You should consider that below this line, things won't be visible. And I clearly don't see the sky here. Grass moves. Tree moves. Oh, here's it. I think I forgot to duplicate it. Yeah, let's do it now. And I don't see the light moving, or it does move. Yeah, it moves tiny bit, but it moves. Yeah, so duplicating the cloud will close this project. And we will just merge all animations. You can stay to see how we do it. So I have selected only cloud bones that I duplicated. That's why we only see, so we are free to offset them. Now we have two clouds and one overlaps the other. If I shift the keys, you will see if there is a clean loop, I will be able to shift them, offset them, and you will see the other cloud appearing from behind. Hello, the cloud. Let's shift it half the cycle. I know that half the cycle is 500 frames and it's not 2000 because 2000 will be exact the same cycle. So it's either 100, 1500 or 2500 and so on. So let's do 500 here and see. No, it is not working. I think it was 1000. Yeah, it was 1000, sorry. Thank you for subscribing. Okay, let's go back and see the preview once again. Everything looks great. A lot of clouds here. They should not overlap. This is not good. I think at some point they will overlap, but I will speed up 500 times. and see this way. Yeah, this is good. And this is not good. They overlap too much here and we have empty space. But I think I can't avoid it. I will send to the client and see what he says. Maybe we are good here. Yeah, that's gonna be it for this stream. And keep tuned, subscribe. Next we will animate this one. I mean, we will continue animating it. Grab it. I want to full screen this so people who want to see what we were working just fast forward and see here and make it on a speed. Okay, now I will grab the file that we will be animating next in the stream. It will be the portal. Yeah, this one. I mean, I can actually open the project file here. So this one, we have already animated it. Let me turn everything on. Okay, so this is it. This is the background that we will be continuing working at animating this stream, maybe in different way. The purpose of this to showcase the tools that you have. I mean, this is just a tutorial for tutorial. So it's not production. Maybe for production, I would go and do differently. But I mean, not too different, but rather more detailed and careful. But most of the time I would use this tool. So next I will animate this stream and rocks and the character and spark. And the idea is to use as less sequences as possible and use original art. So you can see the twirling top and the stream glowing flow and the water splash are all the same stream sequence. So keep tuned to see how we animate this. And I have created an assignment. If you want to animate it yourself, we have a PSD file and some description of the task. You can go to animate it. I did receive one animation already, but I will show that animation when I animate this. So again, subscribe if you want to see we work. And yeah, see you in the next stream. Bye guys.